The entrance, as with all of the original parts of the building, has been carefully repaired and repointed with lime mortars. The main living space, however, at the back of the house is all new, and it shows.
So through the funnel, yeah? This was a window, wasn't it? It's now a doorway. Onto the staircase, yeah. And into, it's like walking into a Tuscan contemporary house, isn't it? With an olive tree and posh Italian furniture from Milan.
This is exactly what we wanted.
It's a bit like a furniture showroom, from the blisteringly bright orange kitchen to the impressive ribbon of steel walkway, the ideal platform from which to feast your eyes.
Up here, of course, now this is in. This is what you see, all those really, really important fastidious details. And the perfection of the timber all suddenly become important because you're right up
Well,
there.
you see it very closely.
There's one fastidious detail that I've never understood, and that is why you ended up having all these holes laser cut out of steel when, frankly, you could have just used a piece of plate and just coped with the fact that the holes went over the edge.
It's such an important feature of the whole design, isn't it, though?
What, just to have some downstairs with no
definitely,
holes in them?
the walkway is such an important feature.
Oh, the walkway, yes, absolutely.
So it was important to get it precise and to have attention to detail.
The glass, too, is absolutely aligned. And the glazing above, which is set into the into the stonework, It's very nice, isn't it?
One of our kind of original inspirations was like Moroccan buildings where you get glimpses through buildings and light through buildings and reflections. And I think that really achieves it through the holes in the walkway and the reflections in the glass, and I think it really works.
The engineering of this place is uniformly precise, no matter how wonky and unforgiving the original structure. Ian and Sophie's mantra throughout this project has been attention to detail.
Everything, all these bespoke things, have to be right, don't they? Because once you sort of set a template for how you want the building to be finished, you can't then cut corners. And also an industrial quality to a lot of what's going on as well, that echoes the industrial purpose.
I mean, that, we were very keen to get a simple look. The architects were very keen as well that anything that we put in the building was very distinct and also, I guess ultimately removable, so you can be left with the fabric of the building intact. And, I think we've achieved that very, very well.
Converted industrial buildings can easily become vast, Spartan spaces. But here the architects exploited the smaller compartments of the old building and then divided up the larger space using glass walls, timber frames, even the staircase.
So this is a study, and it's a separate room, effectively, isn't it? It's the
Yes. So, I mean, the architects came up with the idea of putting the winter garden in, and because otherwise the space would have just felt too big and too cavernous, and we didn't want it to be overwhelming.
A bit like an art gallery.
Or a visitor
centre.
I suppose the chimney helps there, that the glazed walls between the garden and this space. From here, it feels now as big as it felt when it was empty, an enormously long space.
But it's still quite cosy within.
As you said, we're building an enormously long open space, glazed on one side, with a steel staircase running through it,
Doesn't
cozy?
sound cozy.
With a concrete floor for them, I think.
Yeah.
And yet it divides into really rather personal and discreet spaces.